Hello everyone, welcome back to Miners to Millions. We're in the first day of August now, and we've got £22,222 in the bank. And the first thing I need to do today is show you our greenhouse, because I've changed the production over to tomatoes now, as we've got a full pallet of lettuce. So we've still got 1,181 litres of water left in here, so we don't need to fill that up just yet. And you'll see we have 146 litres of tomatoes already, and 0 litres of lettuce, and that's because I changed the production over as soon as we got a full pallet of lettuce. And that was only a few hours ago, so the tomatoes are being produced very quickly. We'll probably get 2 pallets of them in the same time it took us to get 1 pallet of lettuce. So we'll do tomatoes for a few days and see if we make more money from them. If not, I'll change it back to lettuce. Anyway, now you know what I've done with the greenhouse, let's head over to our poplar field and I'll show you what we need to get done today. So you'll see we've got a lot of weeds come up on this field and they require herbicide, so we'll have to buy a pallet of that because we haven't got any. And we'll also have to lease a sprayer to put it on the field because the spreader we have doesn't hold herbicide. I'm not sure what we're going to do about the rocks on the field though, because if we use a roller or a stone picker, I'm pretty sure that will destroy our poplar. So I think we're just going to have to leave them, because I don't want to risk ruining our crop. I know they look bad, but there isn't much we can do about it, and I guess it won't look as bad once we remove these weeds. So let's buy some herbicide and lease a sprayer, then we can get that done. And I'll get the herbicide first. Okay, it's £2,400 for a pallet, and there's 2,000 litres on there. So it is very expensive, but we do need it. And now we need a sprayer, which I think will also be expensive. So this one here is 34,500, and I think that's the cheapest one. Yeah, it is. So let's see how much it is to lease. Okay, it's £1,759 to lease. So again, it's quite expensive, but we have got to get it. And that's everything we need for now, so we'll go and pick them up from the shop. And it was just over 4,000 for the sprayer and herbicide, so it was very expensive. We have got a pallet of lettuce to sell though, so that will make us back a bit of the money we spent. And we'll take that now, as we're heading over to the shop anyway, and the sell point is next to it. It's a shame we couldn't use the spreader we have for the herbicide, because that would have saved us the money it cost to lease a sprayer. I know the herbicide costs more to buy than the sprayer did to lease, but we can unload whatever herbicide we don't use today and use it next time. So we haven't really wasted money on the herbicide like we have leasing the sprayer. But like I said, we have got to remove the weeds, so there isn't much we can do about it. Right, let's see how much we get for this. And this will be the last pallet of lettuce we sell until we know if we're making more money from the tomatoes. If we're not, then I will change back to lettuce, but we'll have to see how it goes. Okay, we got £487 for the lettuce, so that's not too bad. And now we need to go and get the sprayer connected and filled up. And I'll just fill the sprayer directly from the pallet, because I don't think we'll be able to unload the herbicide out the pallet if we use the front loader. This sprayer won't hold all the herbicide that's on the pallet though, so we'll have to put the pallet on the front loader and take it back over to our land. Okay, that's the sprayer filled up, and we've got 1,200 litres in there, so we've still got over 800 litres left on the pallet. So let's get that loaded onto the front loader, and then we can head back and make a start on removing the weeds. Right, we'll have to put the pallet down before we begin spraying, and I'll put it over here with the other ones. We'll have another pallet as well once we unload whatever's left over in the sprayer, so I'll just have to put that next to it. Now let's unfold the sprayer and make a start. And we'll have to see if we can cover the whole top part of the field before we start, because I don't want to miss any of the weeds. So what I'll do is line the right side up with the edge of the field first, then I can check if the left side reaches to the other edge. The sprayer is quite wide though, so it might just reach. But let's see. No, it doesn't. So what I'll do is change the working width of the sprayer so it's not as wide, and then we can do it in 2 rows. So if I change it so we're not using 2 sections on each side, that should be perfect to go down the field. Then we can change the working width so it's a bit wider on the way back up, and that will cover this whole longer part without wasting any herbicide. If any of you didn't know that you can change the working width on sprayers, all you have to do is hold L1 and click the right thumbstick in, and that will change the working width. I'm not sure what the buttons are on PC or Xbox, but that's how you do it for those of you that play on PlayStation. Also, if you have the help menu on, that will tell you what meter working width you've changed to. But if you've done it a few times, you get used to what width you're changing to. So with this sprayer, I know each time I change down, one section on each side stops. So I pressed the thumbstick twice before we started, and that stopped 2 sections on each side. And I'll change back to full working width to go back up the field, so that we cover as much as we can along this bottom part. Then when we get near the top and the field gets narrow, I'll change down so we don't waste any herbicide. And we'll only have a small part on the right left to do once we've gone up here, so it doesn't take very long to spray this field. We have got to get the second stage of fertilizer on here today as well, but that won't take us long to do either. And we've still got enough fertilizer left to do it, so we don't need to buy any, and I kept the spreader on lease as well, so we haven't actually got to spend any money. So once we've finished doing this, we'll return the sprayer to the shop, then we can come back and start fertilizing. And we're coming up to the narrow part of the field now, so I'll have to change the working width of the sprayer so that we aren't wasting any herbicide. So if I go down 1, that should be fine. Okay, that's perfect. The arm is hitting the rock, but we're still covering all the weeds, so it didn't affect us. I will fold the sprayer up to get around to the last part of the field though, because if I leave it unfolded, we'll have to drive quite far into our field to get around this corner, and I don't really want to drive over that much of our crop for no reason. But by folding the sprayer, we can drive around this grass next to the rock, then we aren't going over loads of our crop. And now we've just got to unfold the sprayer and line up for this last part. I don't think we need to change the working width either, because it looks like we're going to just cover this part with what the sprayer's set on now. And I just need to reverse up a bit so we cover right to the edge of this corner. So around here should be fine. No, I need to go a little bit further back. Okay, that's better. And we are covering all of what's left, so once we get to the end, that will be all of the weeds removed. Then all we've got left to do is put the second stage of fertilizer on, and that will be all the work done on this field until we harvest. We have spent quite a bit of money on this poplar field now though, so we need to make a decent amount from it to make a profit. So there is a chance that we could lose money again on this field, like we did last time. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but we'll only find out when we harvest, so we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, that's the field finished, and we've still got 989 litres of herbicide left in the sprayer, so we haven't used much, and we'll unload what's left onto a pallet. Then once I've done that, we'll return the sprayer to the shop, and then we can come back and get the second stage of fertilizer on. It's a shame we didn't need the sprayer for anything else, because we've spent quite a bit of money on leasing it just for one small field. But like I said, we had to remove the weeds, so there isn't much we can do about it. And I'll unload this pallet here, then quickly put it back next to the other one, so it's out the way. If we had a sprayer with a larger capacity, we would have been able to load up all the herbicide we had, and then unloaded it onto one pallet, which would have been better than having 2 pallets that are half full. But I guess they aren't really in the way, so it doesn't matter. I probably should have unloaded this pallet a bit further back, so I had more space to get it on the fork, because I've made it quite difficult for myself. And I've not picked this up very well either, but I'll just get it over with the other one for now, then we can sort it out another time. We've got quite a few eggs on the pallet now as well. We only need another 3 crates and it will be full, so that should be within the next couple of days. And we should make good money from the eggs, so as soon as it's full, we'll take them to sell and see what we get for them. Anyway, let's get this sprayer returned. Okay, I've returned the sprayer, and I've brought the spreader over here, so we can load it up using the front loader. And we've got 313 litres of fertiliser left, so that will be more than enough to do our poplar field, because we never use much. Okay, that's the spreader filled up, so let's get it connected to the tractor and make a start on the field. And we usually get this whole field covered in 3 rows, so it won't take us long at all to get done. We have to be using the full working width of the spreader to get it done in 3 rows though, so I'll have to make sure I line up right before we start. And we need to be covering just to the edge of the field, so I think a bit more to the left will be about right. Yeah, that's just covering the edge of the field, so that's perfect. We can return this sprayer once we've done this field as well, because we aren't going to be needing it for a while, so it's not worth keeping it on lease any longer and paying for it each day. I should just buy one of these really, because they're only cheap and it has a good working width and speed. I think we'll do that when we have more fields, because it's probably not worth it just yet. And now I need to line up so we just cover up to where I've done. So somewhere around here should be okay. Yeah, that's fine. And we should be able to get all of what's left on the way back down, so we would have done the field in 3 rows again. We haven't used much fertilizer either, so we'll still have some left when we finish. There might even be enough left to do this field again next time, or at least most of it. But either way, this fertilizer has lasted us a very long time. Anyway, that's the longer part of the field done, so we've only got the shorter part left to do now. And I'm pretty sure we'll be able to cover all of what's left. If we can, then this will be the last row we've got to do. And I'll turn the spreader on as we turn, just so we get this corner. Okay, we can get it all, so we would have got this field done in 3 rows again once we get to the end. And like I said earlier, once we've done this, there isn't anything else we need to do on this field until we harvest. It's the same for the cornfield as well, so now we've just got to wait for both of them to grow. And that's the fertilising finished, and we've got 157 litres left in the spreader, so we've only used around half of what we had in there before we started. So we should just have enough left to fertilise that field again when we need to. But I think the cornfield will need fertilising before this field, so we'll have to buy more for that. But we can still use this little bit we have left as well, so I'll unload it onto a pallet and put it back where it was before we return the spreader. And if I reverse and pick the pallet up from this side, that should be easier than how I did it last time. I probably should have done the same with the pallet of herbicide, but we got it to where we needed to in the end, so it doesn't matter. Actually, I might put this pallet next to the herbicide, so it's not in front of the other ones, because it was a bit tight turning around to get this pallet from where it was. And we have got quite a few pallets over here now, from where I've unloaded them out of the equipment, so most of them are the same thing with a little bit in one and a lot more in the other. So we'll have to try and use up the ones without much in first, so we haven't got as many pallets taking up space. Anyway, let's take this spreader back over to the shop. Okay, I'll just lower this down before we detach it, and then we can get it returned so we aren't paying for it each night. Even though it doesn't cost much, we aren't going to need it for a few months, so it will add up. And it's very hard for us to make money at the moment, so we don't want to be wasting it on things we aren't using. But hopefully we can make good money over the next few months from harvesting our corn and poplar. And our grass is nearly grown back as well, so we can make some silage bales from that again. And we shouldn't be far off buying more land after doing all that. Then we can start doing a lot more things each episode, because we haven't actually got anything else we need to do now. So that's everything for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know by leaving a like, and feel free to subscribe so you never miss another video.